We're going to go over some of the features of TPE app for the iPhone, which is right here. So we're going to click on that to open it up on the iPhone. And you'll see that I already have something on here. This is the map area. I have it on night mode, as you can see up here. So you see the little moon and the stars. And again, we're just going to go over some quick features of it. I want to first direct you to the More button down here. We're going to go ahead and click on that. In the Help button, you're going to be able to find a user guide, which is really helpful, some great video tutorials, and an online help center as well. And if you need to contact the support, the people that invented this app are really great at getting back to you too. So let's go back to the map and go over just some of the features that help you to plan photo shoots. So right up here, we're going to go up, and again in the night mode, this is a really helpful area up here. This is night mode. We can see all the features on the events of the night, but here's the sun mode too. Now you can see how things change. You don't anymore have, let's see, it says day mode here. You don't anymore have the stars, whereas when we went here and we come back, you can see where Polaris is, the North Star. It also shows you what some of the nighttime features are. It also shows you the Milky Way and the galactic center. So let's go back up though, and you can change daytime, so you can go ahead. And but let's go back, and we're going to shift to day. Night view gives you 2 days in a row, gives you the night into the next morning. Day view, just as you can see, gives you the solid day. So again, let's go up. Let's pick a time. Let's just, for now, we're going to go in and we're going to say, when's the next full moon? So that gives you the ability to do this down here. We can see that we get the next full moon on November 14th. So we're just going to go ahead and click that for now. And now what I have done here is I have enabled the geodetrics. So I'm able to put my locator button, which is my red button here. So this is me with my camera, and this is my landscape view. If I click that off over here, or actually I have to click the top button, that takes that off, but you can see, if you forget, the gray button has a little double mountain there, so that's your subject pin. You can change them. Sometimes it's good to change them around, but that now we're off of that. We're just standing here by ourselves, and we don't have a subject right now. But I wanted to take that off for a minute just to show you what's down here. So you can see this does not come up. These the events of the day do not come up with a gray pin on. So if we go down here, we can see all the events of the day. So we start with the astral start in the morning, nautical start, civil start, and then you get the moon set at 6:50 a.m. on this date. So you can see all, like I said, all the events of the day, all the way down to astro end at the end of the day. So it starts the very beginning of the day and ends at astro end here. So we were going to look at the moonrise, and the moonrise is at 5:11 p.m. So the next feature we're going to look at is right down here, and this moves. I'm just going to move it, so we can move this with our finger, and it goes through the day, forward or backward, and you can see there's numbers that change for the sun and for the moon on the left hand side by the sun and moon, and then on the right hand side. So what do those numbers mean? Let's go back to the moonrise. The 250 here and the 67.8 is the azimuth of the sun and the azimuth of the moon. So on a 360-degree circle, that's this circle of azimuth, 0 is directly north, 90 is to the east, 180 is to the south, 270 is west, and again 360 is north. So if we look here, the sun is at 250 at this time of the day. Now the sunset is this darker orange, and the moonset is this darker blue. That's when those events occur. The moonrise is the light blue, and the sunrise is the light yellow. So these are events that are put in here on the map. So right now the sun is at 250 degrees at this time at 5:11 p.m. and you can see that that is true. So what did we say this was? 180 directly south, 270, so 250. You can see that lighter yellow or lighter orange. So it's right there. The sun is already set. The sun set at 4:30, and so the civil end. But we still have some light in the sky. That's why you get a little bit of light color. So so that's where the sun is. It's also at negative 7.1 degrees. That means it's set already. So when it was at, in fact, let's just take it, watch that little orange line. So at right there, you can see that now the sun is at plus 0.3 degrees. So it's just setting right here. So when we go back to our moonrise, when our moon rises, we can see, of course, that it's already below the horizon. So if we go to the moon is at 67.8 degrees, and so the moon should be rising right here, and it's at negative 0.9, so that it's just starting to peak out. So let's move this a little bit to a little bit later, and you can see up there in that light blue area how the moon is coming up, and watch the numbers as they move down below. So you can see how this is changing. Now it's 4.7 degrees. So it's rising and it's changing. Now it's at 73 degrees azimuth. Remember, 90 degrees is here. So 73 degrees is there. So you can see how these numbers work, and how it can really be helpful in telling us where the moon is, where the sun is, and what we might see wherever we're standing. And this is without putting another locator button in. So let's just do that. We'll go back, and this is going to change. This goes away now. So let's go ahead and put that geodetic button back on. So this is our subject up here. Now this is in the Apostle Island, and there's a location button under here too. I'm not going to take too much time with that right now, but you can click on that. In fact, let's go ahead and just do that so you can see. These are a lot of locations that I already have in here, but you can search for locations as well. We'll go back to our map now. And so this is directly north of me. Now we want to find out, many times I want to find out whether the moon is going to rise over or near a subject that I want to photograph, or whether it's going to set there. We know now, after doing this for a long time, just know the geography of the sky. So I know that it's just fruitless to even try to see if the moon is ever going to rise or set over this, because it's completely north of me, or just about north of me. You can check here too, this area, and you can see that the bearing, which is right here, is 356 degrees, so almost due north, because 360 degrees or 0 is due north. We can see that the distance, this is 2.74 miles away from me, which would be great if the moon did come over here, because I could get a huge moon over something, maybe if there was a building there. It's a little bit lower than I am. Minus 60 feet total. So over this whole distance, it spans, it's down just a hair, and negative 0.3 degrees. So it's almost level, and it should be, because it's over water. Although I apparently am a little bit taller here than my subject is. So we already know that we're not going to get any moon rise or set, or any sunrise or set. I mean, we see the sunrise is going to be here, the sunset's going to be here, and that changes over time. This is a little bit more towards the winter, so we're going to get less of an arc, less of an angle, and the moonrise and the moonset. So we can check for it though anyway. So this is something that I would encourage you to do. Go into the visual search here. I'm going to press on that. And I'm going to select moon. I want to see if the moon is ever going to rise over my subject from where I'm standing. And I'm going to select 5 years, because we're going to see that it's going to say nothing. So let's go perform the search. It's going to say 0 results found, because it's just not going to happen. So we can go back to our map. But remember, something that is north, if we had a subject here, something showing or something of interest at all, then Polaris star trails might be interesting. So we can go back up here, and I'm just going to click on that night mode, and you can see the Polaris is here. Remember, I'm just a little bit shy of due north, and you can see that. So I can zoom in a little bit, and you can really see how Polaris is just a little bit shy of this. So you could get some nice Polaris star trails there. So that might be when one thing doesn't work, you can say, well, what about this? And you just weigh all the options of the night sky. You also have the ability to see, if you can see, this white line means that I can see my gray subject, or my gray dot over here. I can see it. The white line means I have visibility. You can tap on that, scale to fit, and so you can just play around with those things. Let's check something else out though. Let's just put our I'm going to go up and change this back to daylight just because it's easier to see everything. And let's just change our pin here. We can do that a number of ways. We can, the little crosshair that you see, let's just go ahead and put that, let's just put it right here. And I'm going to click on the gray pin. That's going to relocate it. And now let's just do a visual search. Let's go back down here and do a visual search and see if we can ever find the full moon where we were. And let's just put it at, a year this time. So we're going to perform a search. And now we've got results. So on February 10th of 2017 at 5:31 p.m., I have a full moon, and it's giving me an azimuth of 73 degrees and an altitude of 1.7. So, and then also again on March 10th. So let's click on this one, and it's going to tell me that right here, if my subject is here and I'm here, that I'm going to have a moonrise directly over my subject. So those are just some overviews and some ways that you can use TPE, and this is great for planning. So we saw that we could see Polaris, and we could plan star trails around Polaris. The same for south. You're viewing everything north, east, south, and west here. So you can plan Polaris star trails. I showed you how you can visually check as to whether or not you're ever going to have a moon come over the subject or on a rise or a set. You can do that with a crescent moon or with the sun as well. So you just do that same visual search with the sun. You can plan a crescent moon, whatever you wish. So there's many, many things you can do. This is just a very general overview, so I hope it was helpful.